Does this ring a bell? Did you learn that in history? The LA riot, the famous LA riot in 1992. Okay. So during this time, apparently there were 4 white officers. They were charged for beating a black man in 1991. And they were found not guilty, as you can see. Because of that, people were angry. This is an example of political deviance, police violence. It causes more than 2,000 injuries, thousands of arrests, buildings damaged, 1 billion of property loss. This is an example of white-collar crime. Police brutality is an example of political deviance and white-collar crime. You see the damage being done. It's like the fires we saw in California a few months ago or over the summer. Look at the damages being done. And this was before the days of iPhone, cell phone, social media. But for some reason, it was being videotaped by somebody. And it was used as evidence. The African-American man was Rodney King. He was a motorist. He was pulled over for speeding. They say that he was non-compliant. And they beat him, they clubbed him. And because of that, it went viral. That's how the protests and riots came about. It went viral. And we can also see from this paragraph, apparently in many countries, the US included, the judicial system is structured along racial and class lines. Look at his jury, 10 whites, a Hispanic, 1 Asians. So people were unhappy because of the jury makeup. It causes the riot, among other factors. This was their slogan, no justice, no peace. So there were other instances before Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd. There were other instances before cell phones. Any question? Do you know anything about Karl Marx? Do you know anything about Karl Marx? Did you learn about Marx in history or other classes in high school?
We did. We did in high school, but it's been quite a while since I've kind of gone over what he's done.
Okay. So sometimes before videotapes were invented, people spread their ideologies through other means, like the printing press. If you look at Karl Marx, He was born in the early 19th century and he died before the 20th century. So, Industrial Revolution happens in Europe when he was around. Printing press was invented. And look at his biography. He was many things: philosopher, economist, historian, sociologist, politicians, journalists, revolutionaries. Okay, so being a journalist, he had connections with the news media, the public. Being a journalist, he was the liaison between the public and the news. And the printing press was around those days. Because of that, he was able to spread his communist ideologies through the printing press. Can you see that? And because of that, ideals pertaining to socialism, communism, they spread to the entire Europe, to academia, to the public, anybody who could read the newspaper. And I think radios were around during this time, or part of this time. So wealthier people with radios in their homes, maybe they were also exposed to all these technologies and avenues. Maybe this partly contributed to Russia falling to communism in 1917. And then other countries follow suit. And I think that was how Hitler and Mussolini spread their ideologies too, through the news, through the printing press, through the radios, among other things. So many things went on before cell phones. That's my point. Can you see that?